Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Brock, and for the last 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. And so now I'm on a mission to help other women just like you do the exact same thing. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It's episode 17. Thank you so much for being here today. Real quick before we get started, I wanted to make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. If you're in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on all the future episodes to come. I've got so many great things coming and I don't want you to miss out because I know it can really enhance your business journey and help you to grow your business right. The second thing is, thank you so much to those of you who've been leaving reviews. If you've been listening to this podcast and you haven't yet left a review, it would be awesome if you could, because it not only helps me validate what I'm doing to know that this is worthy of you listening to, but the second thing is it helps Apple and Spotify and all the players show it to people like us who are trying to build their businesses right. And so if you could do that, just take a few seconds right now, scroll down, you can put a star rating and a written review. I'd be so appreciative. Thank you all so much and enjoy the episode. Well, hello there. I'm so glad you're here today. I wanted to talk about the emotional roller coaster of business ownership. And if you haven't experienced it yet, then it probably means you've never thought about having a business or you don't have one. So if you've never experienced it, then this episode, I have to say, is not for you. And you can tune in later when it's happened. My guess is every single one of you have experienced some ups and downs that have to do with your business, even if you haven't officially started your business yet. If you're just thinking of an idea, you've probably been super stoked about it and very excited, but then the realization comes of all the hard work that you have to put in. And then you figure out a way that you can put in the hard work and you get super excited again. And then it goes up and down and up and down. I want to say it's okay. This is part of it. It's just like life. No one ever said it was going to be easy. There's ups and downs, and the same is true with your business. So today, just wanted to kind of mention some of those things that can be really tough as a business owner, and then some ways that we can try to mitigate those tough situations so we don't have such differences between the highs and the lows. So we get to lessen the extreme and keep it more on a high level, right? A happy level, and not have to experience all those tough things. First of all, I just want to say, as you all know, I'm sure you've experienced this, that being a business owner can be lonely at times, especially if you're starting on your own and you're starting it out of your house. I feel like a lot of us can get lonely. I mean, thank goodness now that there's different groups and organizations. But I have to say, when I started my business, oh gosh, with a friend 20 years ago, we didn't feel super lonely because we had each other. But if I had started on my own, I can only imagine what I would have gone through. But then when I took my business online in 2003, there wasn't really anyone I knew that had an online business at the time. It was such a new era. And even vendors, you've heard me talk about this before, were skeptical of me because they thought the internet was shady and thought that internet buying was shady and not something trustworthy. So it was a lonely time, although it was super exciting. So I'm thinking about you right now in today's world. Do you feel lonely? And if you do, it's okay. This is normal. And there's things that you can do to not feel so alone in this whole process. I know that being a business owner can be extremely stressful, especially in the beginning, because you are having to wear so many hats. You're having to be the accountant, you're having to be the creative person, you're having to be the operations manager, running your website. You may have to be the graphic designer. You have to come up with your packages and your pricing and your branding. And there's certain things that you start outsourcing that you realize that you can't do, but it can be stressful. And when you don't have a lot of money coming in because you've just started, it can be super stressful and you can feel very low. Coupled with feeling alone is not a good feeling. It's just not a good feeling. You can also have stress when you do try to outsource some of the help and maybe even you try to hire part-time help. It's hard because you want to get the right person that really believes what you believe and is going to treat your business as you do. And that's super hard to find. Luckily for me, I had family and friends that worked with me, and it helped me so much because we were in it for each other as well to help each other. And my friends were doing it because they wanted money on the side or to be able to, my sister-in-law was able to stay home with her babies and help me and ship product. And it meant so much. So that wasn't so stressful. But when you have to start going outside of your circles, it's hard. And then if you have to let somebody go, it's super emotional. It can be hard. Some other emotional times in your business can be when you've got technical difficulties, which has happened a lot. My sister started an online business a few years and when, after I started mine, and she would freak out over some of the technical stuff. I'm pretty savvy technically. I mean, for the most part, I'm not all the way an expert, but I'm able to figure stuff out. And she just couldn't handle it and would freak out and always had to get help. And it was very emotional for her. And for me too, someone who knew what they were doing. I mean, I've had my website crash before when I had a big promotional period going on and I had, almost probably several hundred products on my website at the time. And so that was super, super stressful. Other things that can be emotional are when you have an upset customer. And I know I've spoken about this before too, but I think all the people that are listening right now to this podcast, you're pretty, what's the word? You're out to do this for the right reasons and you feel emotionally tied to your business. And so when something goes wrong, it's very painful because if you screwed up and you screwed up an order or you screwed something up from your client, it's gut wrenching. Or if someone else screws, maybe you didn't do it personally, but someone else screws it up, maybe UPS or someone, which is rare now because they do things so well now. But in some of the days, the Postal Service and different shippers, it just wasn't as reliable. And it was super, super hard to deal with. And when customers would call you and yell at you, I've had customers yell at me on the phone. I've had customers yell at the people that worked for me. And it's sickening. It ruins your day and the next day, and you're trying to figure out ways to prevent that from happening again. But I want to tell you, there's so many great emotional highs that you get from your business. And just like I mentioned a little bit earlier, when you first come up with that business idea that you're like, oh my gosh, this could be it. This is what I could be doing for the next years. And wow, could I really make money doing it? And I just want to say that is the best feeling. And once you get that business going and you're making those first sales, I mean, can you remember back if you have a business right now, just the rush The adrenaline rush when it's actually working is so amazing. When you get reviews, maybe your business is on Yelp or Google reviews, or like me, have a podcast or a blog or some way that people can review you. And when they do, it is so touching. And literally, I've gotten tears in my eyes from reviews or things that people have said because I put my heart and soul into this business and other businesses that I've had. And so it meant so much to me when I got positive feedback, very rewarding. And just the fact that I was getting to do something that I love, getting to create something for myself to give me the flexibility that I wanted in my life and the control over my future and not to have a boss, to get to be my own boss. It's just so rewarding. And I want that for you so bad. If you have it, then again, fist bump right here, my virtual hug, because I hope your businesses mean as much to you as mine have meant to me. And if they don't, what can you do to make them be more meaningful? Is it products that you sell that you need to alter? Is it this business? Do you need to close it and start a different one? Is it that you don't have your business yet? And so it doesn't mean that much to you yet because you don't have it yet. But I just have this feeling that anyone listening right now is understanding what I'm saying when I say that it means so much to you. And so I get it. So I wanted to go over real quick some things that you can do to not be on that horrible, scary roller coaster, that you can try to keep it more of a fun ride. I was thinking back to when my dad used to take me to amusement parks when I was young. Every summer I got to take a friend and we would go into the city and get to do the amusement park rides. And I was thinking about the difference between the largest, scariest roller coaster and then the fun, like log ride, where you got to laugh and have fun and it was all great. There was some scary parts, but for the most part, it was really exciting. And the roller coaster is amazing in its own way, but there are the highs and lows, you would agree, right? And so I'm trying to make this more like a log ride where it's really fun. You're making money, you're enjoying it. It's exciting, it's exhilarating. Yes, you have those moments, but you recover quickly and it's on to a great ending. So here are some things that I think you could put in place to mitigate those lows. First of all, is surround yourself with a group of like-minded business owners. And in today's world, how lucky are we? There's Facebook groups even. There's virtual Facebook groups like I have. Come join mine, by the way. I would love for you to be in because we like to help each other in all kinds of business situations. Facebook groups are amazing. Find like-minded people or people that you can post if you are having a bad day or something is going wrong, and you can say, hey, ladies, what did you do in this situation? How did you handle this? Or what can you do to prevent XYZ from happening? Be a part of groups, okay? You can also find local groups. And just like Michelle Stinson said, I think it was on episode 9, I believe was the episode number. She talked about old school principles at work, and she had built her business locally. That's it. She had not built it online at all. And she networked so much in her city, which is Austin, Texas. And she was part of the Chamber of Commerce and did all these things, which was super fascinating. If you haven't listened to it, you should. But you can do that. And you can have a community of women or other business owners, men and women, around you to bounce ideas off of. I truly believe you need a mentor or a coach. It can be a family member that's had a business. It can be a friend that's had a business, preferably somebody that's had a business longer than you. So it doesn't necessarily have to be anyone older than you per se, but somebody that's had a business longer than you who's survived the ups and downs and can give you feedback when you're feeling low. So I want you to do that. And I want you to know too, that that's what I am here for. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have ridden a roller coaster. I've gone to the highest roller coaster. I've gone down to the lowest. I'm trying to keep it like the log ride right now as well. But so I've been there. I've made mistakes. I've done a lot of things right too. So if you need somebody, I'm here. But I'm just here to say, if you've got a friend, if you've got a family member, if you've got someone that can be your mentor or coach, paid or unpaid, have someone that you can bounce ideas off of and get help as you need it periodically. I want you to know that you need to take breaks. If you are really stressed out about your business, maybe sometimes you need to take a break. Make sure you are not working 24 hours a day, because as entrepreneurs and business owners, we tend to do that because we love what we do, or we wouldn't be doing it. And so because we love it, we put our whole heart and soul into it. And because we do that, we end up spending a lot of time on our business, which is amazing and awesome and fruitful. But at the same time, you can be neglecting those that you love. It could be a spouse. It could be a child. It could be your other family members. It could be your friends. I want to make sure that when you're going through hard times with your business, that you're not neglecting those important people. Because I know I've had times when my husband is like, why are you working so much? You do not need to work on the website tonight. And then part of me is like, yeah, I kind of do. I love it. But I don't. I need to set boundaries. So I just want to make sure you have someone there to keep you in check. Also, if things are going super good, you tend to be working a lot as well. And sometimes people need to pull you back and say, okay, life balance here. I know your business is going awesome, but you have other commitments and priorities and relationships that you need to keep up with. So that's that. The next thing that I want you to remember is that you had a mission when you started this business. You had a plan because you had a vision of what you wanted to do. You had this dream of how you wanted to accomplish it. Maybe it's certain products that you were making or services that you were offering. You were ready to make that impact, to make that difference, whether it be big or small. I mean, heck, I sold personalized and monogrammed gifts. And some could argue, well, that's not very impactful. I absolutely loved it because during all those years, we didn't have access to monogrammed and really classy gifts. And when I didn't make anything myself, but when I was able to ship product and they would receive it and be so excited because it was exactly how they thought it would be for my website, it made me so happy. And if they had jewelry that they got to wear with initials, it just made me so proud that I was able to provide that. So it doesn't matter what you're providing. I mean, some people are doing majorly life-changing, impactful things for other people, and it's so rewarding. So whatever it is, I know that you had this mission, and I want you to go back to that. I hope that you have your mission statement or vision statement out in front of you on your desk. And if you don't, I challenge you to do that. And if you've never created a mission statement or a vision statement, it's a process, but I bet you can kind of come up with it in your head right now if you've never done that. Like, really, what's your overall goal? And I'll tell you, my very first podcast episode was about finding your true business purpose. And it's called your reason for being. It's a Japanese term called Ikigai. It's my most listened to episode. It's my very first one. If you have never listened to it, go back because it matches up your passions, your strengths, your skills with market viability of what you're wanting to offer. And it kind of helps you craft briefly those mission statements, the vision statements, and what your overall theme is for why you're doing this business. So I challenge you to do that and have it on your desk because there's going to be moments when you're feeling low that you can reflect back and go, it's going to be okay. Okay, it's going to be okay because this is what I'm focused on. The next thing that I think you can do to mitigate, and this is a big one, and I could actually talk about this one for an hour, but I'm not going to, but I want to say, you should have a plan in place for all those things that could go wrong. So, for example, if you have a website and your website crashes, what is your plan? Are you the go-to person? Do you have a tech support number? Do you have someone that you've hired that's on retainer monthly that you can call? Do you have your sister that you can call? My sister used to call me and she'd be like, okay, tech support, which I was tech support. I still am tech support, but she would call me and go, what do I do? And I would tell her, and great. Okay. So she had a plan though, at least somebody that would give her help. And you need that. Okay. So what are the other things that can go wrong? Maybe you ship a product and the product arrives incorrect or broken. What's your plan? Go ahead today and start thinking through, just get out a piece of paper and go, okay, what are the things that could go wrong that I need to go ahead and map out what I have a plan for? Also, when I'm feeling emotionally low, what is my plan? My plan is to reflect on my mission, is to call so-and-so because so-and-so understands and has been through this. What am I going to do? I'm going to get in my Facebook group and go, everybody, what do I do? I've got a really upset customer. How do I keep dealing with this, etc.? So I want you to map out a plan. The very last thing that I want you to remember is that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. If you're having a hard time at any moment or feeling emotionally low, you can think about that it's going to pass. There's going to be a new day. And it was funny, right before I got on the microphone here, just 2 minutes before, I thought, I'm going to look up that Bible verse. What is it about this too shall pass? And realize it's not a Bible verse. I was totally wrong. It's a phrase actually that King Solomon had used, but it was not part of the Bible. But that's your fun fact for the day. That this too shall pass is a saying, and it's been used periodically over the years by some influential people, starting with King Solomon. But it is not a Bible verse, but it's very important and apropos as a business owner to remember that this too shall pass. And you know what? Sometimes the good things will pass too. So what are you going to do to ensure that you can keep growing at the same rate or enjoying your business at the same rate, even if the sales fall a little bit? Like making sure that you have cushion, making sure that you have put measures in place for ways that you are going to come up with new products or do new things or offer new services that will prevent things from not being as good as they were before, to have new hope, to have more potential. So the very last thing I want to say is that if you are a business owner today, congratulations. You are amazing. That sounds cheesy, but it's really the truth. So many people never have the courage to start their own business and do what you're doing. Some people are scared. Some people don't want to risk it. Some people can't decide on a product that they want to offer because it can't be perfect, so they don't do it. I just want to congratulate you today in another virtual hug. Way to go. You're a business owner. You have done this. And if you ever get down, put a mirror up in front of your face and go, you did it. You're doing it right now, every day. You're powering through and you made it happen. So I just wanted to say that to all of you. Congratulations. You are a business owner and you're awesome. And I'm so excited that you listen to this episode because I just want you to know you're never alone with those lows in your business. And there's going to be so many great things. Having a business is one of the most rewarding things you can do. It is such an accomplishment when you do it in an authentic and real way and you're really out to serve others. The impact that you make will never be forgotten. So, thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful day. And until next time, keep plugging away, keep selling, and keep building your business. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you all so much for listening. I just wanted to remind you real quick that on every episode, whatever I speak about is in the show notes. There's a summary and there's links to other episodes or anything else that I mentioned below in the show notes. All you have to do is scroll down and you'll see there may be a link that goes to my website that shows, the points that I made, any summaries, and again, links to other episodes. So I just wanted to remind you of that. And again, I mentioned that I have the Facebook group and it's for women only. If you've got a business or dreaming of starting a business, you're trying to make money doing what you love, please get in on my Facebook group because the more the merrier, and we're all just trying to help each other along our emotional journeys. Hopefully not so emotional, right? That's what we learned today, not to be so emotional and to prevent ourselves from that. So anyways, thank you all so much. Bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.